Okay, so we are recording now, and well, Sherman, you were first on the call, so I'll let you go first. Your experience with Rapport, and the fun question for today is, what are you still using today from your Rapport experience? Your most current, your most recent, most oldest, whatever you like.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm Sherman Whitney. I did LE1 back in October, and it was a great experience. Mine was probably somewhat unique toward the end of the graduation ceremony, the first part of it, but it was an amazing experience for me. And what do I use, continue to use, have used? Probably my voice, I think. I think that's one thing that I work on everything, but I think my voice is the one thing that I probably use more.
Great. And so Sherman left out the fact that Mr. Fonseca was given a great scare when Sherman went to do his graduation for the second time and almost landed in the hospital in the process. So it was quite the journey, but the good news is he did graduate and still ticking. That's a whole other story you'll have to get to know Sherman about. But Miss Molly, share what are you still using today, and a quick introduction, please.
Good morning. My name's Molly Christensen. I graduated from LB1. I think that was in 2006. So it's been quite some time. I am a master grad and an Eagle Quest warrior. And I honestly, if you can look right there's my big box of all my Rapport stuff. It's all within arm's reach because I am constantly going over there and grabbing stuff. So I use all of it. My favorite, it obviously is that, the final circle when I am strong, I am powerful, I overcome. That has been my go-to when I'm struggling. And so that is just something, and I've taught that to other people. I work with a lot of high school students. And so before we go and do challenging things, we all chant it. So that's my thing. I love it. It gets me fired up and it gets me where I need to be.
And I have heard you are quite the one of the top fans.
I am.
I love it. Yeah, congrats. Miss Colleen, you joined us next. Please share.
Okay, I am a master grad back in 1998 when they still had Rainbow Ranch. So I went to Rainbow Ranch.
Wow. Okay.
And what is it, Mike and Joanna, who had started the company? They were actually at my graduation along with only 5 other people.
Congrats.
Rainbow Ranch stories, basically on the way up there, you honestly think that's what, you think you're going to know. Yeah, it's nothing like the retreat center, believe me.
Right. I've heard 2 stories.
Staying there for 3 days was enough of an experience. But anyhow, I still have a photo of Rainbow. Okay, so there was dorms with a balcony, and what you saw was a beautiful mountain, and I'll have to get that here one time and show you. And I still, so you were supposed to focus on somebody in the audience, but you couldn't see the audience because they're way down below. I can still find my focal, and I just snapped that picture of this mountain. And I snapped one day I walked around, took a bunch of photos of the scenery because it really was pretty. And I can still to this day find that point when I need to focus.
Isn't that powerful? That's powerful.
So I'm gonna go back now. So anyhow, I also have a unique person to have done LB1 for a second time.
Oh, that is unique.
I was the first person. I called and I said, I need to do LB1 again. They said, you can't. I said, yes, I need to do it again. We've never had anybody want to do LB1 again. I said, I know where I am in my life and I need to do LB1 again. She says, let me see what I can do. And I had to make some promises, as into I could tell no one on the team.
Right.
And I couldn't ruin any surprise processes.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that back in, I think it was 2006 or 7. I also have 3 kids who have been, 3 kids are now adults who have been through Eagle Quest, and I'll be our team leader.
Right.
And now, like I said, I went through ADAPT. The really unique thing about doing LB1 a second time, I never did ruin it. No one in that class, unless you happen to run into me now later, ever knew I'd been in it before. Both trainers cornered me at one time to ask me bunches of questions.
Right.
What's weird is that some things are still scary.
Love it.
But then I've been on team 3 times. I could break a board. How do I say that without running the press? I can break a board without meaning a whole lot. So the board, they actually ended up on my final, which I failed 3 times. Brought out another board and said, okay, now you go ahead and write why you really came here.
Wow.
So that is the only board out of, I mean, I'm sure I've broken 8 or 9 with being on team, and that is the only board I ever framed. On the back side, it says life.
Wow.
So yeah, that was the most, actually LB1 the second time was probably the most powerful experience of my life. And what was really funny, just like I never gave away an answer, but sometimes I said, hey guys, maybe we should do, and I get shot down. I'm like, no guys, that's really what we need to do.
Right.
I let them, you know, every so often I give a suggestion and they weren't there yet. They just shoot me down. It's like, and I had to smile inside and enjoy it. So.
Well, Colleen, you are a gift of energy. I just enjoy having you with us today. Thank you for being here and sharing all that. That was
I didn't
awesome.
know Recharge existed until we went through Adapt, and then was it you who posted it in there?
Excellent. Great job. Thank you. And we are glad you're here. Eric, your turn.
Hey guys, I am Eric Ballestero. Basically, I went through LB1 probably coming up on a year soon here ago, and I'm now currently out here, you know, running a lot of the recharge stuff. So I'm getting everything set up for you guys in the background. But for LB1, I mean, I think my favorite part of it was just, you know, getting out there and getting to be able to, you know, have a good community of solid people going through the same thing at the same time. So it was just a cool experience. And now we're looking to bring that back into recharge. So, excuse my hair, it won't just stay in that.
Well, and the fun part, Eric, is that it's amazing how this 2020 has happened, because it seems like a year to you, and you went in February of 2020. So it's just to give you an awareness of how much we are taking in our world today. And Molly, you're in the coaching world, so you are aware of what we are, the crisis management everybody's in at this season. And so the gift that we get to be, and the recharge community, and I was thinking about it this morning, the gift of everyone that's been through such intensive experiences to go into the season we're in now gives us a whole different platform to really be prepared and be a light in the midst of all this darkness and challenging. So the exciting thing is, Eric, you've obviously owned it in such a way that you got a year in you. I'm going to give a quick introduction, and then I'm going to have you go into all the details. Cool. Eric is the behind the scenes individual that handles all the platforms we're building, all the fun stuff. Colleen, I went into, I think Molly, you were in the group that I didn't get to actually post, but I went into all the Adapt groups and shared about our recharge, and we're just building. So we're excited to have you. I actually took LB1 in 2010 and graduated LB1, and I did PC shortly thereafter, and then I became a master grad in LB2 in October as well. And I can tell you the one thing I am continually taking from LB2 is good enough is not good enough. And that's a whole nother story you'll find out about in LB2 if you've not been there yet. But with that, we're excited about the journey of building recharge communities for you. And Eric has done some amazing platforms that he'll share. And then my question to you after he shares all that is, what part do you want to help with and support with as we build recharges in local communities as well? Fair? Any questions, any thoughts before we let Eric take over? Awesome. Eric, all you. Do you want to share screen, or you want me to pull up the screens while you're talking?
Yeah, no, I got them right here. Let me just make sure that I'm on the right ones, and I will try to separate them out so it's not super distracting with all the stuff I have going on.
And Eric set up all my fun lights in the background, and I'm going to learn how to shut the one off so it stops rotating.
Just turn the dial to the color.
Got it.
Yeah, okay. Let me find my Zoom window again. I seem to have lost you guys. There you are.
There we go. We got it now.
You disabled screen sharing.
Oh, let me fix that for you.
Okay, well, I'll let you guys know what we're doing partly. So we are taking a step forward on creating a community process to the recharge group. So what we're doing right now is we are transferring everything into this program called Mighty Networks. And what that is going to be this online group that basically is a lot like Facebook groups and everything like that. But this one is completely separate. You may still log in with Facebook if you want to, so you still have that option of being connected to Facebook. But this is going to open it up to anybody that isn't on Facebook or doesn't want to be a part of Facebook. All you need to register with this is an email address. And basically, I can't show you the homepage at the moment while I show you the rest, but I'm still getting that set up. So you'll come in here, and this feed that you'll log into will be your feed specifically. So everything that you get a part of Rapport Recharge will come up right here in this feed. And that will be everything from the additional groups that we add in for your specific location. So like if you guys have a local group in California, all your group information will pop up right here in this feed, and you can sort it how you want and search it if you need to find something. So when you do first get logged into this kind of thing, you'll have a little bit of options.
Eric, Molly had a question.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So Eric, so I've got a recharge in Sioux Falls here next week already. So
Okay.
do I need to be emailing you, or can I go on to this and post that information?
Yeah, you could definitely, once you get your account registered on here, you could post that in here. And then if you want, go ahead and send me an email with some of the information, and I'll actually create an event in here for it. So people can like start RSVPing to them on here. And then I know you guys have you have an actual local group. What we'd like to see, too, is to create some more online groups eventually too, to have people connect online as well that aren't in your local area.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely, and you just send it over. Like we have a whole event section that we only have today's meeting in so far, but you'll be able to see any nearby events and any upcoming events in here.
Okay, thank you. So, thanks for letting me interrupt you.
Yeah, anytime.
That was a great question.
So we have a few things coming in here. I am productively working on this. So it is going to be adding a whole bunch of features in the near future. And actually what we're going to do is once the landing page is set up for this, you'll be able to go to rapportrecharge.com, and it will take you straight to this Mighty Network. So that way we don't have to remember weird email or weird addresses or anything like that. So that's the first bit.
And Eric, I'm going to just add one other thought to this before you keep going forward, is
Okay.
that the neat thing, one of the questions came up in our previous recharge meetings about how do we create a membership directory, and this will be where everybody gives us permission to do so, and it takes out all the concerns and challenges, etc. So it's been taking us a little while, but we've been working to figure out how do we start right. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So the other thing that we are going to be implementing is, because we have had concerns with it in the past, is we are going to be moving away from using Zoom. So we are going to be just switching over to Microsoft Teams, and I can just bring that up real quick for you. You do not have to have this installed on your computer, I believe, and you don't have to actually worry about anything really of it, but I do recommend that you could get some benefit out of it because it does add another like chat-like thing. So this is going to be what it is. It's just going to be a simple team on Microsoft Teams. And basically all it is a chat box for the most part. And when we come in here, we'll just hit start meeting and we'll send out the link as well. But it will just be pretty much just like Zoom. You just pop into it. You don't have to register for these ones. But if you do, I can add you to this team. And I'll be adding in all the meeting notes on here under the wiki. So here's like the agenda for today kind of thing. And then it will have access to actually the Mighty Networks inside of it. I'm going to put the Mighty Networks inside of the team as well. So if you do want to use both or whatever, we can do that. And if you are wanting to become, a part of leadership here at Recharge, we can definitely add you into this because we are going to be holding a lot of the leadership chats in here. And then the become a member form is also in here as well. And thank you guys for everyone that is on this call. You are all registered as a member. Thank you so much. And if you did not get that newsletter, let me know and I will see how we address that, okay? other than that, that's all we got going right now. Well, I mean, we have a ton of things going, but that's what we have ready for right now.
Excellent. Great job, Eric. And the YouTube page is hosting all of these meetings, and then they'll also be put back into that background as well, correct?
Yes, they will be added to the Mighty Networks every time as well once they're posted on YouTube. So that way anybody that missed one can go ahead and see it. And I will put a specific topic into the Mighty Networks specifically for past meetings.
Perfect. Excellent. So we're going to work our way around again, and we're going to start with Colleen this time. Ms. Colleen, of everything you've seen, everything you've just recently heard about since you just got familiar with Recharge, what would you like, any questions, and what would you like to do in your territory?
As far as I know, the only people in my area who have gone to Rapport are my kids and my husband and me. So we have
So family meetings.
I love it. We have some familiarity with that.
yeah, I mean, I'm like out in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. I'm in the Panhandle.
Oh.
And I went for my work, but my work paid for me to go way back when, but it wasn't a thing my work was doing.
Got it.
That makes sense. I want to go to a leadership class. I'm going to go to this one. They said, okay.
Got it.
At this point, I mean, like I said, I didn't know this existed. I didn't know what I got myself into. I'm not getting myself out of it, but I just kind of want to figure out, I mean, I'll be glad to help and do whatever and figure this out as I go. Is that fair enough?
Totally. And Colleen, where about out in Nebraska are you?
Scotts Bluff, actually Gearing, but Scotts Bluff, it's in the middle of the Panhandle. It's the biggest town in the Panhandle. The two towns together have 25,000 people, and we're like the hub of the Panhandle.
I've driven through Nebraska a few times, so I'm familiar with a couple different areas of it. But
if you go on the interstate, you miss that. You miss us.
Got it. Okay, good to know. And you might be surprised, the more that we build this, you're going to find people you don't realize that are in. They may not be right on top of you, but they may be nearby, or you create a Nebraska type of online group, etc. And we'll work with you as we grow, just to keep you connected. And as we got to experience from you today, the joy of the memories of the processes that you've been through, it's wonderful to share.
Oh, well,
Awesome.
You kind of get away from Rapport, and then you get back in, and you're away, whatever. I mean, so I was away for a while, then we got the kids back in, and then my husband went through, but then I was away again because the last time we went to Vegas, I think was in 17, and no, maybe 15.
Okay.
But I followed the page, and all of a sudden, I mean, it was like honestly a day before Adapt, I think it was. I saw that, and I'm like, oh, well, that looks like fun,
Right?
yeah. And had no idea you could actually do Rapport online and still have those same feelings. And so I also signed up for Momentum. So,
Congrats! Excellent, Miss Molly, your turn.
What am I doing going forward? I'm
Yes,
staying
ma'am.
on the path. I'm going to keep hosting the recharges monthly. Right now, I am hosting them online. I got an email. Someone wants us to return to doing in person. Ironically, the executives all, like at the May, they said we really like it being online because it's easier for us to attend because there's no travel. So, and what I'm doing is I'm now hosting it twice in a day. So I do it the second Wednesday. And now I'm going to do one at 4 o'clock and one at 7 o'clock. And the reason I'm going to do two is because I've got some people that don't feel comfortable sharing in front of their boss. And so, and some people, they're with their families at night. So I'm offering it 2 times. This will be the first time I'm doing that. I think I'm going to get a good response. And I have Eric Weiser from Weiser Distributing. He said, you said it at 4 o'clock. I'm going to have my people there at 4 o'clock. So he's really supportive, and I got a couple other gentlemen that are really supportive, and I'm really excited to see how this is going to go forward.
And Weiser's a pretty big name in our Rapport community.
Yes, he does. Isn't he
to
awesome?
have a supportive, that's a wonderful gift. So thank you for all of you for just being here and being present. Sherman, what do you want to move forward with?
Well, one, I think actually in my class, there was somebody from Weiser in my class, and the gentleman was at our graduation.
Yeah.
I believe.
There's a lot going through Rapport right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, you mentioned Colleen, I think you mentioned that you have a family affair going there. Also, April and I are married.
Mhm.
So we also have kind of family rapport meetings every now and then. But I am looking forward to going back and taking the communications class and then LB2, but I also want to take Eagle Quest. I'm looking forward to becoming a master grad, but I'm also going back and just reviewing because you kind of sometimes you forget about some of the stuff that you went through, and so I'm going back and reviewing what I did. So I'm looking forward to using more of the information and stuff that I got out of it when I went through it the first time. I don't know that I'd go through it a second time though.
Miss Colleen's the power. Honestly, Colleen, I was thinking my twin went through at the same time my son did, and I could foresee him contemplating the idea of going through. But I know that they're both looking forward to LB2 and the other opportunities when we are able to do more of the intensive style. And I know that is something that Rapport is working on to reopen in the future.
Yeah, my son is like ready to go now as an adult.
Right, exactly. That's awesome. So we are, and Eric, you can close us out here in just a minute, is that we are purposely working with the Rapport team. We're working with the opportunities of building that online platform. And most importantly, just really helping support each and every one of you so that you know you have a resource to be a bridge, if you will, to stay on top of making sure like we got some anchors in our Facebook page. We'll move them into here. To take into your meetings. Molly, I loved how you started us off earlier today about sometimes it's just better to have an open forum and then but yet to limit the amount of the open forum, right? So and learning how to build these communities where people can be engaged but not overwhelmed. And so we're going to be growing with each and every one of you and help support that process and help we talked very deeply about creating some guidelines and processes that everybody can align with so that we maintain that experience moving forward. So I think we're really excited to get it built, and we just continue 1 month at a time until we eventually get to weekly. And yet just to build that. Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
Does Recharge, and I haven't looked, so does Recharge have a page too in addition to the private group?
We do.
Yes.
And Eric, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, if you go to, I believe if you go to facebook.com/Rapport Recharge, all one word, it will pop right up. If not, I will fix that. But yeah, if you search Rapport Recharge on Facebook, it will also pop up. And then before we do close, I'm going to send you guys both in the chat. I just sent out the links for both the Mighty Networks and for the Microsoft Teams link that you guys are welcome to get started on early since you are here. And just kind of a reminder to everyone right now, the Mighty Networks is going to be free probably here at least for the first 2 weeks for everyone to get signed up. But we are contemplating and we're going to put out a poll there to everybody to see if people would be willing to pay a small membership fee to support paying for those services that we are currently paying for at the moment. So we will put that poll out here in the next few days just to kind of gauge what would be, fair for everybody. And we do always want to leave a free option. So that is going to always be a thing. There will always be a free option for everybody, but there will be a possibility for membership with payment that would get some extra features or things that are coming out in the future that we'll let you know about.
And Eric, it'll be an annual fee too. It's not
it could be annual or monthly. I'll set up both options. So if people want to pay, a smaller upfront kind of annual fee, that's cool. Or like I said, I'll put the poll out there with a couple of different options and a space to write your own option or whatever, just so we can get some feedback about it.
And just to cover the cost. So, and the exciting thing is that we are building a community and a platform that we can attempt to get the multitude of graduates that are out there just really supported and in the same community. It's very, very important in the season we're in. Moving, never mind what beforehand. So go ahead.
Okay, so what is going to happen to the Facebook page and the Facebook group?
So the Facebook page will always still be getting updated with all the information, and the group is still accessible if people want to use it. I mean, I think the Mighty Networks will be more engaging, and a lot more information will be in there. But what I'll do is I'll make sure to get the Mighty Networks set up to automatically post into the Facebook group for certain post types. So like any information updates or anything like that will automatically get posted into the Facebook group as well.
Okay, because and I market my group on Facebook, so I actually learn a lot from Facebook coaches.
Okay.
Can I make a suggestion for the page?
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, so when I look at it, there's really no reason for me to come to the page. I mean, there's nothing on there except that you talk. I mean, so what happened is, and I've been following the Rapport page for a couple of years now, and the only thing they ever put on their page was when when a new team was going, and I usually watch those, and then I'd be done. Well, now all of a sudden we have Live with 5, and we have Adapt, and so something needs to happen on the page that makes people find it, and you find it accidentally, but you include the words rapport, you include things. I mean, motivational posts once a week, talk about what we do, even though I don't know what we do yet. Does that make some sense?
Right.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely in the plan, Colleen, and I appreciate the suggestion. We are working on getting to that level. Currently, it is only myself and April running this as far as like the actual behind the scenes kind of stuff for this. So we are in desperate need of some help if people want to, do additional things with that. And we would definitely like to see a lot more posts coming out. And I think the Mighty Networks will kind of drive that for the group itself, but then yes, to reach out to the community and to get more exposure to those Rapport graduates out there, we do need to kind of boost our posting and our reach. But we definitely want to see you guys also referring people to the page. And then like in Mighty Networks, there is a referral link. So you can get an advocate kind of link to the Mighty Networks, and it will get you a badge basically by the more people you invite. So it's kind of a cool little system as far as like you kind of get something out of inviting people other than growing the network and, kind of reaching out to more people. But definitely would be liking to see more posts in the future. So that is on the list.
And Colleen, I think that was a really great feedback. And I think Molly, you'll be able to be a great addition to that in the things that you're already doing. So people can learn from the process of setting it up. Because, I mean, years ago, I don't know if Colleen had heard about this, Reno had a very large recharge group. There were recharge groups in lots of areas, and it just wasn't, unless it was done regionally, it really wasn't spoken about nationally. And so we're really working to make sure that, I love what you said, Colleen, why are we here? What do we do? Etc. And those are the things that are great things to start sharing. And Molly, you can speak on the experiences that you've had over the years as well. So I think we've got the right community and the opportunity. And Eric, we're just building one step at a time with all of you, little pieces of the puzzle. So great feedback. Any other questions or thoughts before we close out for the day?
I'm just looking at the page and I'm seeing this Mario, the guy with the bow tie, he posts often.
He does.
Be great to see him here.
That's a great point, and I'll reach out to him.
He's got great videos.
Yes. We'll work on, we've had different people pop into each of the different recharge groups as they're available. So I think that's a great point, and I think that's the opportunity we get to build with this platform, is having that in and out as they're available. So great point, Molly. I appreciate it.
Well,
anyone else?
And really the only reason I remembered it was because I wrote it on my calendar. Now, a lot of things I don't write on my calendar, and I honestly, truly, this I would have forgotten because it's not in my routine yet.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, and I don't know if there was, I honestly can't tell you if there's anything in the Facebook group this morning. Hey, remember we have,
Right. I added it just as I said we were going live, and we added it yesterday as well. So
yeah, I haven't looked in there, but I knew it was on my schedule. So
totally understand. We're growing each and every week, and we appreciate the great feedback. That's how we grow, right? So great leaders, we all grow in a process, and it's a transformation. So thank you all for joining us. And I'm sure we'll have others in the next month meeting. And meanwhile, we will have all this building, and we'll make sure, and we encourage you to invite as well. Have an amazing week ahead.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.